Good morning guys, Jeremy Bly here from the UK. Today I just wanted to do a quick video to talk about the Bitcoin price, and there's a lot of FUD out there at the moment. If you don't know what FUD is, it's fear, uncertainty and doubt, and a lot of this is caused by people with a hidden agenda, or organisations with a hidden agenda. What you got to remember there is there's a lot of scaremongering going on at the moment. People talking about the governments, regulation, countries banning Bitcoin, etc., etc. Now, I don't think you can ban Bitcoin. In fact, I know you can't ban Bitcoin. What the governments can try and do is they can try and regulate. You can't even regulate Bitcoin itself, but you can regulate the companies and the organisations that are involved in it. So I wouldn't worry too much about that at the moment. And I can understand some people might be very, very nervous because they possibly bought Bitcoin when the price was up here. And I've heard of people getting money out on credit cards, remortgaging, getting loans from the bank, which is just crazy. And I think the first thing you have to realise in any kind of investment, you should never ever risk any more than you can afford to lose. I think that's the first golden rule. But obviously with so much scaremongering and people not knowing when to buy, when to sell, I thought I'd do this quick video. But what this will do, this will have some technical analysis in and some logic behind it so that you can then make an informed decision as to whether you want to buy some more Bitcoin or whether or not you want to sell your Bitcoin. Now, what I want to do, this is a daily chart. This is a daily Bitcoin versus US dollar chart. Ignore, these are my Bollinger Bands, ignore that and my moving daily average. Try not to pay attention to that at the moment. But what you've got here, the green candles obviously indicate the price going up and the red candles indicate the price going down. So you can see there since around about October time, well, this actually goes back as far as June. So you see the price was down here and it's steadily come up. This is where it was in October. It's come down a little bit and then it's had its height in December towards the end of last year. And then this year it's just come down. It came up a little bit and people said, oh, don't worry, it's going to go back up, and it's come back down again and everything else. Now, the issue that you've got with Bitcoin is normally, and what's happened in the 2017, every time there's a slight dip in the price, people bought more Bitcoin. Now, that strategy is fine when you've got a bullish trend. When the trend's going up, you're going to get away with it. What we are in, and make no mistake at the moment, what we're in at the moment is we're in a downward trend. It's a bear market. And now I personally believe in Bitcoin. I believe in cryptocurrencies. I believe in the technology behind it. And I've always said to anybody that before they get involved in Bitcoin, research it properly and decide whether you want to be part of the movement, whether you want to be part of this evolutionary new evolving money. And that's really, once you get behind Bitcoin and you do some proper research on it and other cryptocurrencies, you'll realize that the technology is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And ultimately, for me, the price is always going to be going up over a long-term period. Now, what we've had at the moment, we've had people obviously selling. You're going to get profit takers at there. You know, why not? I was one of them. I sold some of my Bitcoin. People then hit there, people have bought again, and then people see a bit of a high and they'll sell. So what you've got to remember when you're looking at this graph and you're looking at the charts, most of it is down to emotion, sentiment, and generally how the market are feeling about the currency. Now, what I've done on this graph, I've actually got these two blue lines here. Now, this is really, really important. And the timing of this video really couldn't be better because a lot of people have been buying here. They've bought more here, expecting to go up, and it keeps going down. And what that's doing is it's causing panic. And what some people are doing is they're buying Bitcoin at $10,000, then panicking when it hits 8,000 because they really realise they couldn't really afford. They've put money in they couldn't afford to lose, so they're selling and they're panic selling. So what I would definitely say now, one thing I just want to make really, really clear, I'm not giving anybody financial advice. I'm not qualified giving people financial advice. I've been involved in cryptocurrencies now since June 2016. I first invested in cryptocurrencies. I invested in my first bit of Bitcoin. But I'd actually been researching and doing my due diligence on Bitcoin and looking at the market for probably 12 months before that, before deciding to actually get involved in it. Before that, I was a Forex trader. So I've got experience of obviously trading currencies and everything else. So all I'm doing is I'm just sharing my view on it, my logic, and it's up to you obviously what you want to kind of do with it. Now, the reason I've put these two blue lines here, because this is a really key area for both support and resistance, obviously in Bitcoin. Now, funnily enough, you notice today that you can see there, this is today's bar. Now, before today, I couldn't see, I haven't bought any more Bitcoin because I'm just looking at it, and from what I'm seeing absolutely no signal that there's going to be a reversal in price. Now, this area for me was key, and I've been looking at this area for a while. And the reason I've kind of zoomed out on this chart as well, because you can see here in October, when Bitcoin came up, you see there's a kind of a resistance here. So you see where this bar is around about $6,200. There's a resistance there. And you see there, but this resistance line has then also turned into support, and it's acted as a really good support. And when the price broke up through that resistance in October, November, when it came back down, it hit this resistance, hit this support level here around about 5,500, and it's bounced off that and obviously come all the way obviously up here. So this graph here below this is what we call an RSI, relative strength index. I always look at these on the charts because anything in this white shaded area here means that it's overbought. So you can see there when it was overbought, it's quickly came down, and we're now actually into a period now where it's actually oversold. So I'm also keeping an eye on this MACD indicator. What I'm looking for this to bounce off. I'm looking for this blue line here to break through this orange line. Oops. Sorry guys. Looking for that to break through it, and obviously that we're looking for the uptrend. But we have to be really, really cautious. Now, what I would be really, really concerned about, I wouldn't rush out today and buy loads of Bitcoin, because what I'd be really concerned about is that if we go below this level here, I'd be concerned that, you know, we could be going a lot further down. Now, the logic behind it though is it's going to get to a point, you can't, people worrying that the Bitcoin's going to go down and the price is going to crash completely and it's going to be worthless. There's going to come a point where you have to realize, guys, there's come a point where it's very, very unattractive to sell your Bitcoin. I believe we're at that point. I believe there's a lot of people that won't want to be selling their Bitcoin any further than kind of down here. So you've also got to remember, obviously, futures has been introduced to Bitcoin market. A lot of these traders are going to want to try and bring the price down so that they can buy, because a lot of them obviously missed the boom. So they want to get obviously into Bitcoin at a good price. So you've got a lot of traders at the moment, a lot of big players in the market that are driving the price down. But there's going to come a point where they're going to start buying again. And like I say, the future of Bitcoin, the future of money. We've had also some issues as well with transaction fees and mining fees and everything else with Bitcoin. I sent a transaction yesterday and it only cost me $1, which is a really, really good sign, because the whole issue with Bitcoin over the last month or so, to send somebody $20 was costing about $5 to send, and that kind of defeats the object of Bitcoin and why, you know, what the big draw for everybody was to get into Bitcoin. So looks like they're going to be, obviously, as the Bitcoin development teams sort out some of these sort of niggling scalability issues and everything else, we're going to hit a price where people are going to think it's not worth selling anymore. Sentiment's going to change, and we're going to get that bullish run again. So that's my view on it. I expect, you see here where we've come within that kind of the key support and resistance line of port, around 6.2, it's dropped to just under 6. And you see there, it's started to push back up. So what I'd like to see by the end of the day, I'd like to see, I mean, if this could be a green candle, that would be absolutely fantastic, with a really, really long wick, a long wick, because that would actually show that sentiment's changing and buyer pressure's coming up. But you can see here, this is actually volume as well. So you see there's a lot of activity in the market, and I think a lot of people are going to be buying Bitcoin. But like I say, if it does dip below there, this isn't to scare people. If it does dip below there, I would certainly wouldn't buy. I'd certainly wait, because it could actually go a lot lower. But I think the longer term view, from my point of view, I'm still very, very bullish on cryptocurrencies, very, very bullish on Bitcoin. I believe it's the future, and I believe that anybody that sort of has the strength, the mental strength to hold on to their Bitcoin is going to be, could end up being incredibly wealthy. So yes, I've cashed a little bit of Bitcoin end of last year. That's what we do. We're here to make money. But I'm a believer. I'm never going to sell all of my Bitcoin. I'm always going to be having some Bitcoin. It's as simple as that. So this is a key area, guys. You can see there, it was a key area back in October, November. Absolutely critical. I'm probably going to do a follow-up video in the next couple of days. My personal belief is that this, where it has here, it's going to bounce off that area there. And then I can see us hopefully having an uptrend. But again, just be really, really careful. What I'll be looking to see myself is I'll be looking to see it breaking that high from today. And I'd probably be looking at, if I see it getting up to, I'd probably rather buy around about 7,500. Yes, you can buy at 6,000 and make, but as a trader and somebody with a trading background, I'd rather have a signal and make sure that I can see a continuation of the uptrend, rather than, people seem to be obsessed by buying at the bottom. I didn't buy the bottom. Well, how are you going to know where the bottom is? You need to look at these charts. You need to know what you're looking for, and then you need to. But you see there, when that came into this area last time, it bounced back up and it went right up there. So that's what I hopefully envisage to see happening. I certainly wouldn't be. It depends what it does for the rest of the day, but I'd certainly be looking at that chart again tomorrow. If it kind of finished up around here, I'd be looking at it to at least beat today's high, so over 7,000. I'd probably want to see it up here. I'd also be looking to see this blue line crossing the orange line. So it's just, like I say, just worth waiting, having a look. But I think the future's bright. The future's very, very bright for Bitcoin, and I'm hoping that with what we've got here, this resistance, the support level, I'm hoping that we can see it obviously going to the moon again. So there we go. That's all from me. I'll hope you found this useful, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.